guys, it's Kristen. It is, we're already like December 2nd, and I haven't filmed my what we read in November and my library haul, and I had some other videos I wanted to film for you about books, so I'm just gonna put them all together. You can tell I am recovering from being sick. I got sick on Thanksgiving Day, and I'm not better yet, so I'm trying my best. But because of that, I've got to read a lot, so we'll talk about that. First, I'm going to start with book haul. And I don't think we've read any of the books I'm hauling, so these are books we'll read between now and then, between now and next time, I guess. I'm going to start with, I am preparing for a class in the spring at my co-op where I'm teaching about, it's to high school. We're going to do A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. Now, I know this book is a middle grade book, but it is life-changing from what I've heard. Now this haul, or this part of the haul, is stuff I just bought for us at home. I went into Half Price Books with my husband, and I came out with this. I have from the mixed up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankenweiler. I've heard great things about this book. Don't know anything about it though. I have, it's daylight savings time, so I can start really early around here, so I have some additional lighting going on, but I also have a 2-year-old who's taking away my additional lighting right now, so hope it's okay. I have Miss Frisby and the Rats of Nim. I have Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of Nim. It is a book that my husband remembers fondly. He doesn't remember if he read the book or watched the movie, but we're gonna read the book, so. I have Number the Stars. I knew that I wanted to read this book soon with the girls, but I think I have a copy of this book. I don't know where it is. So I got the absolute cheapest, you can see $1.75, most beat up copy they had, because I figured having a secondary copy, if it didn't cost me very much, wasn't a bad idea. And if I can't find the other copy, oh well. I have The Willoughbys by Lois Lowry. This book reminded me of 2 things I like a lot. Books about books. And it reminded me of The Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. It's about orphans and their, it says, villains, benefactors, no-nonsense nannies, abandoned infants, and long-lost heirs all make their appearance in this playful homage to children literature of the past. So, really excited to read this one. So is my daughter. She enjoys both those things as well. And the last book I got at Half Price Books on that trip was A Snicker of Magic by Natalie Lloyd. It was recommended to me by my friend. I'm gonna give her a shout out right here, Sarah and Kaylee. Hi. They had read this book this year and they loved it, so they recommended it to me, and we picked it up, luckily. And that brought to the end my, not counting A Long Walk to Water, this was my haul from Half Price Books, and it was about $16. So I was pretty happy with the books we got at Half Price Books. Next, we have Watership Down. It is a read-along that Emily at ARG Schooling is doing right now. She's already halfway through with the book, and we haven't even started it yet, but I have heard great things. I honestly was super surprised because I heard about this book, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll get it. I figured it was just like a normal little book. Oh no, this is a massive honker book. It's like almost 500 pages, and we're gonna tackle it sometime. Back to Emily at ARG Schooling, they do the family reading crate that you've seen me talk about maybe in a few videos in the past. They had a Christmas one, and I didn't purchase it ahead of time because I have a lot of Christmas books, and I was afraid that some of the books would be the same. I should have known better because none of them were. But when I went to order it after I saw what she had put in the box, it was completely sold out already. So I had to like put my own little box, or my own together. This is the Toy Maker's Apprentice. I think this was the teenage read, or the younger, I don't know how she classified it. This was the picture book, or like the little kid read. It's called Oscar and the 8 Blessings. It's a book about, I think, Hanukkah. And the last one is A Boy Called Christmas. And I had seen all these books. I think all of them were in my Amazon wish list from the past, so I was really excited to pick those up. And my last bit of haul I have is what our elf brought us. We have Peter Pan Elf. He's our elf on the shelf, and he generally, I think, brings us a book every time he comes to visit for the first time of the season. So this year, he brought us 5, one for each of the girls. Poppy got The Animals Christmas Eve, and it just talks about what the animals were doing on Christmas Eve, the night before Jesus was born. We got... That was Poppy, so let me give you Lucy next. Lucy got The Polar Express. We've always liked the movie of The Polar Express, so I'm excited to get to read the actual book. What did we go? Then Penelope got How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Ella got 'Twas the Evening of Christmas, which is a story to the same rhythm as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but it's 'Twas the Evening of Christmas, the original Christmas. And it's a beautiful book. It has beautiful pictures and rhyme and language. I don't know if you can see that because how dark it is, but it's beautiful. And Lily got Imogen's Antlers. It is a Reading Rainbow book from what I've heard. When we got it that morning, my husband said he recognized it from when he was a kid, so I'm excited to read it. So that brings it to end of my haul of books that I have bought and brought in my house this month. But now I'm going to talk about the books that we got at the library this month. So we have The Restless Rat. This was a Lucy pick. We have Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. I'm sorry, I have bad glare. We are going to start this series. My sister-in-law is reading it to her children, and they love it. So it's like perfect timing. I forgot about this series by Judy Blume, so we're gonna start it. Olivia Helps with Christmas. It's a board book. Poppy's mad. I try to get books that Poppy can play with while we're at the library, and they usually come home with us because she likes them. Baby's First Easter, another board book for Poppy. We have The Berenstain Bears Save Christmas. We have The Wrecking Ball Baby coming into my camera angle. We have The Bad Seed. Okay, we have my nephews and niece came and stayed with us at Thanksgiving, and we went to the library one of the days, and I let them pick out books. They just had to leave them here with me when they left to go back home. So one of them got Pokemon. Poppy is trying to take her books back right now. We got Peppa Pig, My Daddy. Here, Poppy, take it back. We got the Rainbow Fish. We got, this one has, okay, you can't see anything. Stumpkin. We got this probably November 1st, and even though it's a Halloween book, it was back in finally, so we read Stumpkin. We got The Best Pumpkin Ever. No, The Very Best Pumpkin Ever. Lila picked out some graphic novels. She got Tinkerbell. Another nephew pick was Kobe Bryant. We have Barbie Video Game Hero. We have Wiggle. We have Amelia Bedelia Talks Turkey. We have The Statue of Liberty. I think this was not a nephew pick, but it seems like it would have been. The Wolverine First Class. We have How Many Seeds in a Pumpkin. And A Wonderful Year by Nick Bruel. You'll see we have many books by Nick Bruel this month. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Hold on. We have my daughter, my older daughter, the one that can read completely by herself. She has a pocket on her bed upstairs, and she keeps books in it that she's currently reading. So some of the books are up there, but this is the 26-Story Treehouse by Andy Griffiths. But she has the 13-story treehouse upstairs right now in her pocket. So this is the one she'll read next. That's the one she's currently on. Poppy, honey, what you doing, baby? No, you're not gonna go in there right now.
Come on, Pop. Come on.
I looked at my husband and I said, hey, nobody's downstairs, nobody's doing anything. I'm gonna film a video because I haven't gotten one up in a while. You can probably see that. But I mean, it was like moments later. They were all like right here with us. Okay, so I went to the library by myself one day and picked out some books for me, and I got the Sawkill Girls. I am like on page 20 of that, and The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. These are two books I've seen reviews on BookTube recently, so I'm really excited to read these and see what I think. Now we're going to talk about what we read. Stuart Little this month. As a family, we read How to Train Your Dragon Book 1. We listened to it on audiobook. We read that, loved it. We finished that like in a day and a half. We read The Indian in the Cupboard. We also really liked that. We are going to finish that series, probably both of those series. Now, we won't do them in order because I like to be able to stop and pick up other books that match the season. Maybe you saw we had a bunch of Christmas books coming up, so that's the case there. And I think the only other family book that we read during this time is we started The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. We have not finished it yet, but we started it. It is an actual book, but it's in my purse, so I'm not going to grab it right now. That's our family books. Now, Lila, my second daughter, has finally turned that corner of being able to read a little bit by herself. So I'm going to show you the books that she read. She has been begging and pleading and wanting to be part of what my daughter read this month. So this is hers. She read Biscuit Loves the Library. She read Bath Time for Biscuit. She read Biscuit Goes to School. And Biscuit. She was very proud of herself, and I'm very proud of her for being able to read those books by herself. Now on to my next daughter, Lily, the older one. As you'll see a theme here in a second. She read Bad Kitty for President. Bad Kitty Meets the Baby. Happy Birthday, Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty Gets a Bath. And somehow we end up with 2 copies, but she only read it once. Bad Kitty Drawn to Trouble. Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty Does Not Like Video Games. Bad Kitty Scaredy Cat. So she read all the Bad Kitties I could get my hands on this month. There are a few more that she hasn't read, and you can bet that they're on my list ready to be gotten for her to read. Then she read Dory Phantasmagory. Dory Phantasmagory, Real True Friend. She has Dory Phantasmagory 3, which is Baba Black Sheep, I think, upstairs. She has Ivy and Bean, that she's already started that one. She's already started Ivy and Bean, and she's already started the 13-story treehouse. So that's the one she's in the middle of right now. So Lily had a really, really good reading month. Finally, myself, I read a bunch this month as well. I read The Handmaid's Tale. It was on an app I borrowed it from, so I don't have a picture to show you. I read I read Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, and it was super good. I really enjoyed it. It's a novella. I loved it. Excuse me. I don't have it to show you. I don't know where it is. We looked for it before I started filming, but meh. I read Maybe by Caroline Starr Rose, and oh my goodness, guys, this book was so captivating. It's written in verse, so it only took me like 2 hours to read. You can see that. It's like that kind of book, but oh, it is so good. This is another book we're going to read in that high school class that I was talking about. It's like, I think it even tells you on the back that it's like a mix between Little House on the Prairie and a more coming-of-age tale, but it is so good. I want to know more about Maybe. Even though this is the only story about Maybe, I want to read more about her. And I am also reading, or I'm almost done, but I don't want to be done, so I'm taking my time. I'm reading The Read Aloud Family by Sarah Mackenzie. I got this book a long time ago at the homeschool convention I went to last year, and it's even signed by Sarah. But, see, it says, "To all the girls, love Sarah." But I am highlighting and marking up and remembering important things to me and working my way through this book. All right, that's everything I can tell you about books right now. Hope you enjoyed it, or at least maybe got this far. I don't know. I will see you guys later.